start.
We are live.
Hello, world.
What did you see?
Mama, a bigger fish.
It's called narwhal. Honey, Daniel said learning is fun.
Oh, Daddy saw your painting. Yeah, Daddy's black magic will surprise you. Place this order for my son.
Order confirmed.
Wow.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to ITC Asia Virtual Conversations sponsored by Huawei Cloud. I'm Trisha, the Director of InsurTech Connect Asia. Today's theme is on the transformation journey of digital insurance powered by cloud, AI, and ecosystems innovation. Today's webinar is an exciting one with esteemed speakers, which I will introduce in a bit. In addition, there will be 5 lucky winners who will walk away with a Huawei watch if you participate actively, ask questions, and stay throughout the webinar. There will also be another 5 winners for those that submit their inquiry about the Huawei Cloud trial via the QR code provided, which you see on the screen right now. That means a total of 10 watches will be given away to those that are attending the webinar. Do take note that only 5 winners will be announced today, and the remaining 5 will be chosen by the Huawei team after the event. You can access the handout in GoToWebinar right now to find out more. The document will be named Huawei Cloud _ QR code and lucky draw. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Shiwei, the CTO of Huawei Cloud APAC, to kick off the event. Shiwei, please.
Okay, hello. Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to host everyone here today, and thank you very much for your time joining the session. For my kickoff notes today, I would like to talk a little bit about the transformation journey of digital insurance powered by cloud AI and ecosystem innovation. As introduced, my name is Wu Shui, CTO of Huawei Cloud APAC. For my session today, I will basically cover 4 parts. Start with the challenges of the insurance industry, followed by why go for cloud native and how to apply data-driven intelligence. And at last, I will talk a little bit about the importance of digital technology ecosystem. I believe there are 2 types of challenges in insurance industry today. The first type is mainly driven by the change of customer behavior. Since customers are now spending increasingly amount of time on their digital lifestyle platforms, so the customer acquisition via digital channel is becoming more and more important. Nowadays, you may even heard about metaverse. It's hot recently. So if it does become a reality someday, I believe digital channel may become the only important channel for customer acquisition. And apart from digital touchpoint with the customers, the way of engagement with customer also has changed significantly. It is no longer as as simple as just publishing an advertisement on a digital channel and hopefully someone will click in. Now you have to make the engagement more precise with the customer cohort and make sure that engagement is interactive and sometimes gamified continuously. And the last change from customer behavior is the on-demand nature of insurance services, where customers is expecting to subscribe insurance services in real time when they need it. So that actually put a lot of pressure into the design of the insurance services and go-to-market speed, as well as the robustness of the core system that able to support this kind of product design. And the second type of challenge, I think it's coming from the cross-domain competition. Many competitors are now no longer the insurance companies themselves, but the internet giants that from different sectors like fintech, digital banks, for example, e-commerce platforms, or even share riding companies. Since they dominate the digital channels, they have this natural advantage to reach out and engage with customers to promote insurance services. Thus, I believe there might be one day that customers are no longer aware of which insurance company they're actually subscribing the insurance service from. The digital the digital internet platform will just pick up one of the company, and according to the customer needs, and recommend the service to the customer. So in that case, the insurance companies actually lose the direct contact with customers and becomes less significant in this value chain. This is actually already happening in wealth management space, where customers no longer have the option to view a list of funds, but only the ones that are recommended by the fintech platform. So I think all these changes are leading towards to unprecedented and unpredictable future for the insurance company. Oops, sorry. Okay. So having said the challenges, now let's talk about how to address the challenges. First of all, I believe there's no simple solution, and we can talk a whole day, about all these things that we can do to address that. But I believe digitalization is certainly the most important piece to address those challenges. And cloud native is playing a key role in the digitalization. My definition of cloud native is using cloud infrastructure and design methodology to support enterprise, swiftly adapt to the ever-changing market and customer needs. So I think there are three key aspects of cloud native. Number one is the cloud infrastructure, which is to support the digital systems. It has to be simple, robust. It has to be able to scale and recover automatically. And also it should be portable and open. Number two is to support agile development. You will need an agile organization structure and agile development process to support agile product development and release. The purpose of agility is really for you to adapt to the market change quickly and not to be afraid to make mistakes. If you release a product and it fails, then let it fail. Make sure it fails fast and safe. But if the product succeeds in the market, then you can scale rapidly with agile development. Number three is the data enablement. In the fast-changing world, we no longer have this luxury to wait and see how this market reacts. Decisions are made every second. Small decisions like which service you can recommend to this customer at this right moment. Big decisions like which group of customers that you should target, where you design your next generation of insurance services. And the data is a key supporting evidence to make quality decisions. In a traditional data warehouse style BI systems, that can no longer handle this kind of task. We need something like a customer-centric data platform with AI and machine learning capabilities. Now, let me talk a little bit more about the technology aspect of the cloud native that I mentioned above. One thing that you must have heard overly these days is containerization. So why it is so important, and almost every single industry is adopting this technology in their cloud native transformation. Because in the agile development phase, you need something that is portable and standard across different platforms to simplify the deployment process. You need something that can scale fast and support CI/CD. So containerization actually meet all the aspects of agile development. As a result, today, 56% of FSI has already adopted containerization in their IT system deployment. The number of containers will exceed the number of virtual machines by 2023. Now let's talk about data. As I mentioned in previous slides, we need a user-centric data platform from business-centric, currently traditionally it's business-centric data platform. The data platform is also able to catch user behavior data apart from transactional data and user demographic data. The data platform needs to analyze our customers both as individuals as well as cohort. So as a result, we need to advance our data technology from traditional data warehouse to data lake at least to be able to catch different dimensions of user data and be able to process data with AI and machine learning. I also believe we need to apply business aspect on top of the data so that the business side can directly interact with the data platform, finding the information they need and carry on business executions with the aid of automation tools without asking IT team to extract the information on every single request time to time. It may sound a little bit complex. Well, it is actually quite complex. Usually that involves a total restructure of existing data platform, consolidate data silos, and apply new data modeling with new tools. But it is essential towards to fast and quality decision making with this data enablement technology. Now, you've heard about AI and machine learning multiple times in my session. So let me talk also a little bit more about how to apply AI technologies. So far, I see three key main domains in the insurance industry that AI is largely adopted: customer service, claim automation, and anti-fraud. There are many AI technologies that are used to support actual business process. Common ones such as OCR, very important in the claim process. Graph analysis, very important in anti-fraud. However, the effectiveness of AI is largely dependent on the quality and quantity of the data. So again, this goes back to the data platform that I talked about. You will need a cloud native data platform to produce data, process data, label the data before you can actually produce quality AI models. Well, you may ask, what if I don't have that much of data? And I can't really afford spending so much time, building a modern data platform from scratch. And still, I want to quickly, improve my capability in terms of serving customers with AI. Then it comes to my last page, that is a technology ecosystem. The most important role of technology ecosystem is to speed to market and technology enablement. If you don't have the data to produce AI model, then a good technology partner should provide you a ready-to-use AI model with no custom training needed, so that you can go to market quickly. A good technology partner should also enable you building your own capabilities with the right tools, such as insurance core systems, data platforms, etc. Also, it is important to transform your team to be agile with the right coaching. If insurance companies want to stay relevant, then digitalization capability has to be built internally within their organization. And also, business collaboration and insight sharing is quite valuable for technology partners to bring along during the collaboration. So for Huawei Cloud, we are cloud infrastructure provider to support your digitalization advancement with cloud native technologies, as mentioned, such as containerization, big data, etc. But also, we are an integration platform between the technology ecosystem and insurance companies. Many of our technology partners choose us to deploy their services as a SaaS offering. So we hope this three-way partnership will benefit all parties, helping insurance companies go to market quickly while enabling them building their own technology capability. So that's all for my session today. Thank you all for your time. And also, please enjoy the rest of sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Shui. So next up, I would like to introduce the panelists of the topic on the journey of digitalization and transformation, challenges, solutions, and roadmap. We have Shiwei, who is here with us today, CTO of Huawei Cloud APAC, who needs no further introduction. We also have Walter, Deputy Chairman of Aviva Sing Life, Sing Sun, Head of AXA Next Asia, Eddie, CEO, co-founder and MD of VSure Life, and Nancy, Head of Business Development Manager, FSI Industry from Huawei Cloud APAC as the moderator. Over to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Shui and Tracer. So glad to have this chance to go into our session. So as various industry reap the benefits of digital transformation, the digital transformation will help insurer and insurance carriers bundle products with an added layer of experiences, configure new forms of converge for emerging risks and growing the industry and business. So I want to open the question to the whole panel here. So I would like to come to you first, Walter, if you don't mind. We know that Aviva Singapore and Singlife are coming together to create the leading financial services company, namely Aviva Singlife. So we also believe that this transaction definitely brings together the best Singlife digital innovation and the solidity of the Aviva Singapore's comprehensive solutions and quality advice. So Walter, what do you think of the difference between traditional insurance and the current digital transformation insurance? Walter, I think you are mute yourself. Hello? So maybe I will try Sing first. So Walter, you can try your voice and your audio services. Okay, maybe Sing, can you help answer the question? I understand that some of the US or UK European industries from insurance are encouraged and supporting the part of technology innovation or overall technology innovation. So in your current work and kind of current engaging industry and company scene, what do you think, where does insurance digitalization stand now and would hold in the future?
Okay, thanks Nancy for this question. By way of introduction, I'm Shim. I'm heading up AXA Next in Asia. It's a Shanghai-based frontier to help AXA to tap into the wider tech ecosystem and build business models through partnerships with tech providers as well as startups at a global scale. So to your questions, where the digitalization for insurers stands now and maybe holds in the future. I think if I observe this journey, digitalization journey across Asia, I think many markets are actually following a very similar path, but maybe at a different stage of that path. So take China, for example. I think it's all started probably back in 2004, when the digital economy just came into shape and everyone demanded new protections for the new digital economy, such as the broken mobile insurance or free return insurance for the e-commerce. And then in 2017, I think it was the hallmark of the active insurtech investment year. And since then, the industry is going through a very rapid journey of deployment of wider tech solutions along the insurance value chain, like what Shui just mentioned, the OCR, the NLPs along the insurance value chains. I think that's in large because of this maturities of this wider tech ecosystem. So where we are standing now, I think there are actually a lot of solutions available in the market. And I think insurers has already done a very good job to embed some of the solutions along the along this insurance value chain. But I think a lot of insurers now are trying to build up this internal operational capability to orchestrating this customer journey along the customer journey, and being able to in order to make the use of best of the technology and the data. So and where it will stand in the future, I think we'll probably expected to enter into a cross-data integration period, where the insurance will expect to integrate a lot of data from healthcare, for example, from auto industry, and then probably make a more innovative product available to our customers. Having said that, I wanted to add that when we talk about technology, insurtech, for all the insurtech that made to the headlines, you notice that they are not the invention of some cool techs. It's all about the application of the tech in the industry at a large scale. So the technology is only meaningful when you combined with operational know-how along the insurance value chain. I'll let the rest of to add their opinion as well.
Okay, thanks, Xin. Thank you for your help and understanding about the digital economic also and also the technology actually give us a lot of influence. So Walter, welcome to back. Okay, so Walter, what do you think the difference between traditional insurance? Yeah, now you are already back. We can hear you very clearly. So what do you think the difference between traditional insurance and current digital transformation insurance? Hello?
Sure, no problems. So apologies, I had changed microphones and it had to reload. So the difference between digital and traditional, right? I mean, I think you have to start at the origins of how technology was built in our world. When we built the Singlife ecosystem, we used words like paperless, batchless, instant, everything, right? These were catchphrases that we designed our overall framework around. And we did that from the time that we started our business in 2017 all the way through up until now, as we combine the Aviva and Singlife businesses together. But when you start to think about digital in this, compared to traditional has always had to rely on legacy processes, which included paper and batch runs and time and people checks and lower levels of automation. But if you're able to build the stuff from the ground up, where you say we never, ever want to be in a position where we ever have to go through these manual checks or delays to instant everything, you can have a much bigger base of opportunity. So the key difference for me in digital versus traditional is how much time does it take for you to do one transaction to get from beginning to end, whether it's an onboard for a new customer, whether it's a new sale, whether it's a new updating something. If you have no people in between, that's digital. If all you're doing is taking a PDF form and collecting data in a digital way, that's not digital at all. That's just a digital piece of paper, which is not digital. So it has to be inculcated end to end into your processes from the very beginning, and that's the major difference between what a traditional and a purely digital player is all about.
Great. So following on your question, actually, because you help us address the difference between the traditional one and the current digital insurance. So you also mentioned about the legacy process and also for how to actually help insurers to solve some the end-to-end process to be faster, to adaptable for customers and users. So can I check with you the further question? So from your opinion, what kind of the solution or technology you recommend to help the traditional insurance to move to the digital insurance?
Yeah, I think the world has become so complicated that it's not quite, there's no one easy solution. And as Huawei was presenting in his presentation, even in cloud infrastructure, most of us are using multiple clouds, right? There's lots of different places that different data is sitting, different systems. We work with multiple insurtechs that have data on different ecosystems, whether it's Amazon or Huawei or Google or wherever it sits. So the key issue is not about choosing a particular vendor or a particular IT solution. The trick is, how do you make sure that your overall ecosystem can plug anything in? Yeah, can plug in anything, wherever it comes from, it's got to sit. So whether it's whoever partner that you're sitting with, if you plug into wherever their data gets stored, how do you make sure that there's what we call a mesh interface, right? So how can we make sure that the data that sits across everything that we touch is constantly updated and constantly real, so that we can use it everywhere? And we talk about traditional versus digital, and in fact, that's not really the language that's being discussed anymore. The issue now is that in every technology discussion you're talking about, it's about centralized versus decentralized architectures, and that then becomes a much more fundamental stepping stone in the evolution from not only just traditional to digital, but now it's centralized to decentralized. And the idea of centralized is like you have a big core system that's sitting in somebody's data room somewhere, and everybody just accesses that piece of tech to capture all your data. But decentralized means that your data can be all over the place. It can be anywhere, and then it has to be kind of connected. And then having the verification of data across all of that. If you start talking about blockchains and bitcoins and all that stuff, it's the same basic thing, right? It's a decentralized ledgering that can sit on any exchange all over the place, where people are cross-referencing these data points and validating them and updating them as we go in a decentralized way. And using these kinds of technologies is how our entire financial services ecosystem is going to evolve over the next 35 years.
Fantastic. Okay, Henry, you are an astute corporate executive and agile, the angel investor. You praise your team for founding the Malaysia-based insurtech company Visual.life. So we saw the logo and we saw your saying Visual.life is considering to be the first on-demand lifestyle digital insurer under the Bank Negara's FinTech Sandbox framework. So may you please help share the detailed concept of on-demand lifestyle digital insurance and what's the benefit for users?
Yep, thanks, Nancy. Yeah, I'm Eddie. Yeah, we are, we've been through quite a number of years to go through with Bank Negara. I mean, I always think that, this is the period of the romance of the three kingdoms, where, the central bank being the largest kingdom that decide how we can operate and behave. And we can continue to romance this with incumbent insurers, the big names, the AXA of the world and Aviva and all this stuff. And that comes, the third kingdom, which is us, the insurtech, or, we sure lately have been given the approval by the central bank to operate as a digital insurer, where we met certain criteria set up by the central bank sandbox. Yes, we aspire to be the preferred digital risk partner for the people, on demand, where you can actually turn on and turn off your protection as and when you need it, right? We focus on making protection insurance empowered within the power of your palm, where we can use it through your mobile phone to turn on and turn off your protections. And we want to make it highly accessible through the mobile phone or other channels, and also make it highly affordable. The design of our product, we call it on-demand lifestyle, is that the design of the product is wraps around individual lifestyle, modern lifestyle, right? The things that Shui talked about resonate a lot entirely to what we do, right? Because it's on demand. I think we're trying to design something that is really, it's one of its latest novelty in this part of the world. And it's not easy. It's seriously not easy. It's a combination of a lot of work with the technology development side, the people having the right mindset and to develop this. So the product design wraps around individual lifestyle. We believe that individual nowadays, they're engaged in a lot of active lifestyle, like running, cycling, whatever. And then eventually we will build our product within a liquid ecosystem where you're healthy living through your mobility, to the place where you stay, or even to the place where you work, right? So our product design is around that kind of liquid ecosystem. And to the point that Walter was talking about, I think, or even Shiwi was talking about, right? We will live in a world where you don't even know when you even bought the insurance. The latest term that we talk about is embedded insurance, right? Our first product that we launched, since we got approval from the Standard Bank, is really much a embedded insurance where people didn't even realize that they've already bought an insurance, right? That's the whole new model, the whole new benefits that we're trying to introduce to the market. It's micro size, easily adaptable, and it's revolved around the individual lifestyle kind of design.
Great. Okay, so I think technology, yes, definitely has the potential of transforming the entire insurance value chain from product development all the way to the claims management. And technology is also powered by AI, big data, or API interface, or cloud services, etc. So I want to open my next questions to Shiwei. So Shiwei, as a cloud vendor, any unique product and technology which you can recommend to help a digitalization journey for insurance companies?
Okay, so I think as if you use the cloud, you will probably be aware that on any cloud platform there are over 100 different cloud services. That is actually most, at least maybe 50 of them are actually essential to build any modern applications. So I think, as Walter mentioned, that a distributed system that will involve utilizing a lot of cloud services, cloud native services, that including storage, network, database, compute, etc. I think also in my slides previous session I mentioned that I do believe the business agility is something that every single industry really need to change the way how they work and how they go to market. So in terms of development, in terms of product design, it has to go agile with cloud native solutions and the distributed nature. So I believe containerization is one of the key technologies that are actually able to really help the technology companies, that including the insurers, actually moving towards this to business agility. And also, I think I mentioned the buzzwords, big data and AI, but essentially there are some real applications that is implemented that in cloud space. We are talking about natural language processing, OCR. These are the mature technologies that you can really utilize and help you to build a secure agile platform for you to go to market quickly. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate your answer. So I already see some audience already pull out their questions. So let's pull up the questions that coming from our audience, and hopefully we can go through them quickly. So let me see. So there's a question mentioned. I think this will be addressed to Xin. So because you mentioned about digital economy, then the question, I think better you answer this question. So what are the key opportunities and challenges of the insurance market in digital economy?
Oh, well, there are a couple of challenges, I think. But if we're talking about the key application of the technologies in the insurance value chain, I will say definitely distribution is the top categories for everyone to look at. I think this is quite consistent probably along in the industry, that the distribution cost is actually a big chunk of the cost in the insurance industry. And what the insurance want to do is to reduce that chunk of cost and pass the benefits back to the customers. So that comes to how are we going to make the online channel available, make people's experience more smooth. Having said that, the human touch is also very important of the customer engagement for insurer. So this comes down to the tech innovations we would have to help our agents, brokers to better manage their clients and their services and make their services more efficient. So just give you two examples. AXA have this platform called Emma. It's a health concierge service platform that can allow the customer to find all sorts of health services available. And that will also allow them to purchase any, engage with our sales and purchase any products through that platforms. And also we have offline sales army. And in Philippines, we launched this tool that helped our sales army to manage their clients offline, and also help them to train their sales, for example, train our offline army. So that's kind of a public solution. I think it's quite reflective of these common trends in the insurance industry.
Oh, sounds interesting. You guys also working to the different sector and also even for the army sector. Okay. So I saw there's some questions, but before I actually ask for the question, actually I jumped to, a very interesting question. So, so I saw nowadays the insurance industry already, going for their part of innovation, but some that some industry insurance customer, they are still looks like lacks in digital adoption. So may one of our panel can help share your opinion. Let's say, what are the biggest disruption and what are the best technology for insurance digitalization and transformation? Since this is a very big question, so let's just narrow down to the, the technology like AI, data analytics, blockchain or cloud services, or let's say API interface or others, which you think could help insurance company to understanding and how to help them to start there and grow their digitalization. So maybe any panel can help share in a simple words to describe your opinion.
Maybe Nancy, let me give it a try. I mean, to give a view from the Malaysian.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a try to give a perspective from the Malaysian market. I think in general, I mean, the traditional insurance business, the incumbent insurer, they're very deeply rooted or deeply invested into the current market environment, right? It's agency driven and all this stuff, right? I mean, the penetration rate for digital insurance is very small, right? Very small, not even 5%. But there's a lot of rush for the incumbent insurers to get into this space because of the hype, right, of the global insurtech, global insurance, digital insurance, and thanks to Walter and Singapore side, it's moving a lot of big waves in the region, and it attracted quite a lot of incumbent insurers trying to get into the space. But I would say that they need to really think about their product fit first and see how they can design the product fit to be market relevant, because a lot of the current insurance in Malaysia, the product may not be suitable to be a digital insurance. Right? So like what Walter says, like when you digitize the process, doesn't mean that you're digital. It's a digital insurance. It's just trying to replace it with a digital channel, right? So it's really about assessing the product fit. And second thing is that there's a huge undertaking for incumbent insurers to create the digital mindset. Are they open to a digital mindset, the digital ecosystem operationally? Are they open to collaborate with insurer out there? That is the digital mindset really that they need to get into. And to the point that Shui is talking about, the holy grail of trial and error, it's always about trying something, failing it, get up again and keep going. In Asia, we tried 3.5 years bank. It's not that the one goal we get it with the central bank, we went through with the central bank a lot of times, being assessed by them. So it's really about trying, failing, get up, going, keep going, and all this stuff. So that's my view from a local Malaysian market perspective.
Okay. So I think we also have another audience. Some audience they also ask some questions. So I think this one will maybe I can ask any of the panel to just raise your hand to answer this one. So from the audience, they mentioned about, do you see the real use cases of blockchain technology in the insurance domain?
Yeah, I can always answer. I've got a view. I mean, blockchain is just a ledger, right? It's a record of things that happen, and you've got to. The neat thing about it is it's technically self-verified and immutable, and all of those nice things about it. But it's just a technology. My view on all of this is that technology is going to continue to evolve, right, all the time. It just at a quicker and faster pace. When IBM brought out an AS400, at that time that it came out, that was the best thing anybody had ever seen, right? And we all thought, wow, AS400. Now I would rather stick pins in my eyes than look at that screen, right? So it's just, all of these technologies are here and now and useful. So I think to the point around which technology is best, or are we going to blockchain, are we going to use ledgers, are we going to use cloud, are we going to use all this? It doesn't matter. As long as the customer is getting what he wants from his experience with you, and whatever you need to plug into the back end to make that possible is there. And what we'll find though is that as soon as we get kind of focused on one particular technology compared to another, then you actually lose the focus of what you should be thinking about is what is the customer actually want. And when we're talking about technologies, we need to think about, okay, well, this AS400 might be the best thing in the world right now, but in 10 years' time, it's probably not, right? So when we're starting to think about adopting new technologies now, things like blockchain, which might be super cool and friendly and useful now, might not be that useful in the future. But if we can just bucket these things up, great. I mean, for Singlife, for example, we use a blockchain administration platform for our business in the Philippines. It's a platform called Galileo, which we think is fantastic in its architecture and infrastructure, and we've been helping to build alongside that. But that is not the only platform we use. We use multiple platforms because they all have to connect together to give a better view of what our customers' experience is.
Great. So I believe this question actually is addressed to Shiwei. Any specific requirements for cloud provider and ecosystem partners, solution providers?
Well, yeah, I think I briefly mentioned in my previous slide saying that for the cloud and technology partners, so it has to be, we try to build a win-win solution, win-win situation. So we really want to build this ecosystem involves three parties to collaborate. But I think the important part is not about try to sell a product or try to sell a technology. This is not really the way of sustainable growth. I think the way of sustainable growth is really about providing the technology enablement and capability across this industry, and make sure the insurers are actually building their internal technology capabilities to handle the unpredictable future. So I think that's the mindset that we should all bear in mind when we are building these three-way collaborations.
I might be a bit the left on just I'm going to slap the wrist in just 1 second, because I saw this one is very interesting from our audience. So that what are the difference between digital product versus traditional product offered in the market? So I'm not sure whether Eddie, you can help answer this question. And after Eddie's one, maybe somebody will say, if you want to add on, we are also welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, the difference. I mean, okay, let's do a slight comparison. I mean, motor travel insurance is always it's easily digital and all this stuff, right? And motor insurance, all these are easily digital, right? But what makes the difference is that as a digital insurer, the ability to innovate on product and speed to market is, and of course, with the help and the collaboration with the regulators, we are able to offer new novelties to the market, right? For instance, on demand, right? How do we break a PA into an hourly basis and half 6 hour basis? Those are the difference that usually a digital insurer is willing to play compared to a traditional insurer, because traditional insurer product are usually priced based on certain, deeply invested stuff, within their actual risk modeling. And there's certain risk premium to that, and it's very usually more catered for the affluent segment. Whereas the on-demand product is a very bite-sized, like nano-size, 6 hour, 1 hour a day kind of thing. You can easily buy it through the ecosystem partners like a wallet player. So that's the difference. What I see, a digital insurer, we can innovate a lot on the product design versus the traditional. But having said that, there is, I think there is some interest from the incumbent insurers, coming into this space. They are really into this space. We can feel it as well. But I think the market is very fluid at the moment, right? I think all of us trying to learn from each other. I like the fact that the big incumbent insurers are seeing the need to go into some kind of micro insurance kind of a product, which we do play a lot from the digital side.
So I think it is nice to end. So just to quickly wrap up those answers I found very interesting and helpful. So in Asia, most of the countries are in very good, the manner and location. Asia is a very dynamic region. We have so much to offer to the technology, economic background, and also we are also learning from communities who have already started their transformation. So I would like to thank all of our panels and thank you for your great great questions, and our participants, the audience as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the speakers for sharing your insights in the panel discussion. We have come to the next segment of our event, where there will be several partner demonstrations showcasing some of their technology and what they have been up to recently. So before I go into that, just wanted to remind you guys that there will be 10 winners to win the Huawei Watch Fit. So if you have not submitted any of your questions or you have not scanned the QR code, please do so, and we will announce the winners at the end of the session. We have Elton, Head of Insurance from One Connect Financial Technology. Please take us through.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining my session. My topic today is on how One Connectivity platform can make your digital transformation easier. Before I move on, let me quickly introduce myself and the company. I'm Elton Chiu, Head of Insurance in One Connect Financial Technology, based in Singapore. I have 15 years experience in insurance and health industry. I'm now leading the entire insurance business in One Connect Southeast Asia. Before joining One Connect, I worked in Salesforce as Master Solution Engineer to lead the insurance and health industry solutions. And I had head of the product solutions in eBaoTech prior to that. One Connect is an association companies in Ping An Group, a leading financial group in China. Ping An has insurance, banking, and asset management business in Greater China. And it also built up 4 ecosystems, which are financial services, healthcare, auto services, and smart city. These 4 ecosystems provide the tech engines for Ping An business, especially in insurance. One Connect is a listed company in financial service domain. With the support from Ping An Group, we believe One Connect can bring Ping An's business plus technology approach to many other insurers in Southeast Asia. We bring out our best practices to the insurance industry. A typical example is One Connect brings an auto claims solutions to China general insurance market. And over 90 insurance companies and ecosystem players are now using our solutions to handle their auto claims automatically. With this help, our client decreased 13% of the labor cost and increase 15% of the claim automation. We also bring this solution to Europe market and make the partnerships with Swiss Re. And this smart detection solution is now expanding from auto claims into auto insurance purchase. This is a solution can help to identify the depreciations of the cars, and insurers can, based on it, to do more accurate pricing. Transformation journeys of digital insurance is more than change the original business to online. We will need to build up our ecosystem partnerships so as to onboarding the customer seamlessly and deliver the value to them. It helps to expand your connections with potential customer rapidly. These channels supposed to provide an interconnected set of services in a single integration experience that connect offerings from cross-industry players. Insurance digital channels need to engage with customers, but they are hardly to build insurance journeys in their platforms with limited insurance knowledge. One Connect Shooty insurance platforms is one solution for both product innovation and channel distribution. InnoLab is a product center to launch your traditional and innovation product for property and casualty, as well as life and health. Distribution Boost help to enable the digital channels with white labeling, promotion and campaign, and finally, launch your product to the channels. EasyFlow is a local no-code process designer for you to deliver different process of your product based on your channels and product requirements. ScriptOut is a powerful tool to enable the channel partners seamlessly, helping configure business flow, such as purchase flow, claim flow, to embed it into third-party channel partners. You don't need to additionally coding effort to launch your product into the distributor website or mobile app. And you have the full control of management on shelf products with seamless experience in the distribution side. Of course, all these are empowered by the service catalog, our insurance APIs, to make this happen at the back end. Insurance focus more on the designing relevant products that fit for the customer needs, such as embedded insurance, event-based insurance, whilst channel partners should be the place to trigger the insurance purchase. Customers may not necessarily visit your office branches or website to purchase insurance. Instead, the insurance purchase takes place anywhere, any place in their daily lives. They can purchase insurance by tackling premiums payment to various daily activities, such as traveling on public transportation or buy food and drinks. It's a time for us to rethink about designing the product and that responds to the customer needs. A Swiss Re study says 59% of the customers in Southeast Asia are more likely to buy the insurance online. 39% still want to talk with the persons with help to make decisions on behalf of them. The dynamic pricing is very important for us to combining the internal data and external data to make the different pricing strategies and the promotion to the market and customers. And this will comes out more accurate product recommendations with dynamic pricings. In the past decades, we lack of external quality data, but now every industry is doing the digital evolving. This means a totally new pricing models and different go-to-market approaches. Now, let's take motor insurance as an example to see how the customer can purchase the insurance in mobile app. We can start from uploading the pictures from your mobile, and based on that, AI engines behind the auto detections can find the make and models of the vehicles to fulfill it directly, and also allow customer to enter other information for the accurate pricing, such as driver informations and the vehicle informations. In real time, the immediate pricings can get the calculate based on the pre-configured product plan and apply a discount based on your campaign and promotion setup. The immediate payment methods such as PayPal and Stripe can really get the entire purchase journey seamlessly. And this is how a customers can purchase the insurance direct online through our mobile app. And of course, we know that after the purchase, the customer may need have an accident. Let's see how the customer can make a claims agilely. The first step is based on the real-time detection AI engine to identify the paths and the severities of the damage. With the linked database, the claim amount can be generated easily, including the parts and the labor costs. This is really very helpful to get the simulation of your claim amount, and then you can move to the further for the detail of the claim application, such as the locations of the accident and what kind of accident it was, with the detailed elaborations if necessary. And furthermore, you can providing more information on these applications. And based on our AI analysis, finally, the system will bring out the complete claims with the accurate claim amount based on these informations that you provided. And this is the complete journeys of how the customer can submit a claim. Now, let's move to the claim handler. The claim adjudicator can log into the backend and find the claims application in real time. Meanwhile, the claim handler can also find the pictures with the customer uploaded. The single platforms help us to make sure that the database is transparent. Because we already have the AI tools based on the estimations, the amount of the total payout already can be found, and we just need to approve for the validation purpose. Furthermore, with the AI smart assessment, some of our clients choose not to use any handlers to review the claim again by full automation, and especially for the single car accidents. And now let's introduce about how it being empowered by our Shuti platform. Let's start the journeys from the product configurations. Firstly, the product can cover the basic informations, benefit coverage, as well as the entire purchase journey setup. Shuti can help to define what should be included in each step of the journey, such as different attributes as you see in here, and the parameters. This is using a drag and drop technologies that easily help us to define that. In the meanwhile, we can also define the different purchase journey processes, like how many steps for the purchase. You can see this drag and drop on the screen, and you can also using this to delete the step or add your step as you wish. The entire purchase process can be easily defined and configured into Shuti successfully. And this is also valid for the service and claim journeys. Moving to the next, let's say if we wanted to change the product configurations, because of the digital channels, more product can be changed very frequently than before. We're assuming we wanted to change this product one of the plan from 100K to 150K. So you just need to deactivate it and change the plans accordingly in the Shuti platforms. And finally, you can really quickly to activate so that you can find easily and seamlessly changed in our product definitions. And this can be really reflect on the screens on the front end immediately. Last one is about how Shuti can help to launch the product, not only in our platform, but to your channel partner. Because most of the time, the channel partner requires to manage the entire insurance flow. We have a component called script out to generate the code automatically, and you can just need to plug in these automatic scripts into the target website provided by your channel partner. Assuming this is the website for your channel partners that we want to add an insurance setting here. What we need to do is generate the script as before we showed, and paste the script into this website directly so that there's no coding effort required. You just need to change it and update within the several clicks. And this is really now the entire process is really embedded into it. Let's see how it will be looks like in a real system. You just quickly refresh it and find the result. Now, you can really find the journeys in here embedded, and you can play these journeys as actual. This is very useful because there's no bottleneck for you to deliver your product to your channel partner, and you have the full control of this access and change of your product. The entire designing flows can be very smooth by click, but no code. And you can enjoy the entire process as this flow. Such as we saw here, from get a quote to the second step of the application and moving to the third steps for reviewing and declarations. And finally, to make your payment and confirmations. And this is just several of the click for your payment directly, and you get the success of your purchase. Now, this is to the end of my demo. I need to thank you for your time and hope to connect with you for the further discussion. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Elton, for providing your insights on how to effectively launch and connect insurance products to digital channels easily. So now let's welcome Dr. Tan, founder and CEO of IDA Technologies. Dr. Tan, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Tan. I'm founder CEO of IDA Technologies. I'm very pleased to announce to you our Claims Nexus Hub. Right, this is a one-stop hub for connecting the providers and insurers across Singapore. It is a project that's supported by IMDA to help digitize and connect up the SME ecosystem in Singapore. Right. So IDA has been providing AI-driven solutions to insurers in Singapore and across the region for a number of years. What we're doing is we're taking this set of solutions and put it in the hub so they can be generally accessible by more providers and insurers across Singapore. Okay. So what is the Claims Nexus Hub? We find that if you are a part of the ecosystem, if you are an insurer, you need to connect to all the 3,000 to 4,000 providers, healthcare providers across Singapore. Likewise, if you are a GP, you're a new GP that just set up, you could be seeing patients from maybe 10 to 20 different insurers across the country, right? So it's right now it's a many-to-many connection, and it's actually pretty tedious and difficult to do. What the Claims Nexus Hub tried to do is to make it easy to connect, one-to-many connection. So all you need to do is whether you're a provider or you're insurer, you connect to the hub. We ensure that whatever claims you have to make is routed to the right insurer. All right. So one of the most basic service is called claims routing, ability for party A, any provider to connect to any insurer. However, we do more than just claims routing. We also provide services like data extraction, because we find that many times when a GP auxiliary healthcare provider sends in a bill, either an image of a bill, a scan of a bill, the insurers have to extract this data so that they can work on machine-readable data. So we provide this data extraction service, and we already have an ability to decode from any one of the 4,000 providers across Singapore. Another service that we provide on the hub is claims adjudication. We can decide whether a claim is to be approved or not, right? Or whether it's only partially approved, or whether there are any non-payable items in the particular claim. We can now provide fraud detection service. This is essentially a FWA service sitting on top of this hub. All right. So for now, what you can see very well that what the hub does is can enable what's called an integrated end-to-end claims experience from a user's perspective, right? The claim journey starts off with policy administration, meaning if somebody appears at the clinic, is this person eligible for service or not? And what kind of services are this person eligible for? In claims administration, like recording the submission of a claim, whether the documentation is completed or not, to doing the actual claims adjudication, yes or no, full or partial, and we can do fraud detection, settlement, and provide insights and intelligence. This insight and intelligence, which is a service we provide to insurers, so that they can have a perspective of all their providers, and likewise from the providers of the number of claims they are processing for, they provide the number of services that are provided for which insurer, where they are in the claims process. But for now, for this particular Singapore FinTech Festival, Claims Nexus will be launched over the next 12 months. The very first service we intend to offer for Claims Nexus is our Smart Fraud service, which I will now deep dive in a bit of detail. All right. So what is IDA's Smart Fraud service? It's a SaaS, FWA detection service, and we detect fraud, we detect waste and abuse. Fraud is just making a claim for something that you are not eligible for, right? Like making too many claims in a year, maybe sharing your card and that kind of thing. A waste would be things like maybe staying in hospital for way too long compared to a cohort, and abuse would be maybe excessive ward visits by a doctor to a patient. We are providing this service using our proprietary fraud detection model for Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. You will have a chance to try before you buy, right? Okay. So if you use our service, what we offer you is a comprehensive picture of FWA in your books, right? So for this particular insurer in Singapore example, they had 171,000 claims. Total dollar number is $543 million. We can see that about 3.9% of the claims have been detected as outliers, which means potential fraud, but the dollar value associated with is a lot higher, is 21 million, or which is 3.9% of all claims. We can look now, where is the contributor? You can look at it by diagnosis type, which are disease type causing the most amount of outliers, or you can also take a perspective of which are the providers, which hospital contributing mostly to these outliers. You can look at the reasons, and you can do all the top cases, individual claims cases are highlighted on the bottom. So in this particular case, let's deep dive into one case. Let's deep dive into the first case. If you deep dive in the first case, so in this case, case number 5451, we can see that it's for an ICD-K35 for acute appendicitis. Inpatient, he had surgery. Surgery was 12,008, or even had time in ICU. So that is a specific of the case. Now we'll compare the cohort for this particular kind of profile. We see that this particular bill was 136,000. There were 172 similar claims, right? And now you look at the details. So why is this flagged as an outlier? 135,000 is the cost of the claim. We find that the upper bound for similar cases is only 35,000. You can now deep dive into the next level, like surgery fee, ICU, room and board. We can see very well that room and board was 54,000. The upper bound was only 17,000. So we see that most of the additional costs that make this an outlier came from room and board. Right? We're not saying in this case is a fraud, but what we do is we highlight outliers so we can do necessary investigation. So what IDA has done is we have country models for 5 countries. It's all pre-configured and optimized for fraud detection in each of these 5 countries. You're able to look at your books, deep dive into particular claims, take a macro view of providers, and so on. You can take a view of hospital type, admission type, surgery type, ICT type. Right? Now, what kind of savings are possible? So in a Singapore context, you look at a per 100,000 claims perspective, and taking that only 50% of outliers may be recoverable. We find that for inpatients, the potential is $6.5 million, outpatient $1.5 million, and accidents $1 million. So pretty significant. If you find this interesting, how do you get on board? All you need to do is you come to our website, www.idatech.io. Then there is a tab, you click the tab, it will take you immediately to a sign-on page, and just complete this sign-on registration. What it does is it permits us to qualify and ensure that we only work with bona fide insurance providers, right? And once you sign up, you are ready to go, right? And IDA is launching this fraud service in multiple countries. Like I say, we done in Thailand earlier this week, in Hong Kong last week, and now in the Singapore FinTech Festival. So with this, I'm pleased to announce to you the official launch of the Claims Nexus Hub, which is a one-stop hub for all the providers and insurers in Singapore. Specifically, the fraud detection service component of Smart Nexus Hub will be launched from today. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us the launch of Claims Nexus Hub. Next and last but not least, we also have Jay, Senior Sales Director from Cloudwise. On to you, Jay.
Thanks for having me. Hi, this is Jay Lee, Sales Director of Cloudwise. We are headquartered in Beijing, dedicating ourselves in the field of IT operation for over 12 years. And now I'm pleased to tell that we are the biggest IT operation solution and service provider in China. Today, I'm going to share one of the use cases we have, which is in the industry of insurance, back in the headquarters in China. Now, customer, allow me to call it CL, is one of the biggest insurance company in China, which is also ranked 32nd in the list of Global Fortune 500 in 2021, and it's been 19 consecutive years. For sure, you can imagine its business scale and take a moment to think about its IT systems that support such a giant organization and business. And it is not hard to imagine the capacity to manage and operate such IT systems and keep it on the go as always. Meanwhile, with the fast and ever-changing markets in China, customer CL is plans to its digital transformation. It even have a name for it, BABCIM. Actually, the name comes from 6 key technologies that CL is investing heavily in the journey of its digitalization. They are big data, AI, blockchain, cloud computing, IoT, and mobility. And to make its digital transformation even more easier to remember, they also set up a 4D goal, which is for digitalization, including digitalized user experience, digitalized business operation, digitalized business model, and digitalized operation platform. However, customer CL has managed to maintain quite a good ranking in Fortune 500, but inevitably is still facing the very common challenges that almost most of the enterprise have in the journey of digital transformation, especially they have built up the system for years in the traditional industry in China. On top of the top challenges in the list is the lack of the correlation between business KPI and IT resources, which means IT finds it hard to manage resources efficiently. For example, when a new promotion or seasonal program comes, a new IT resource inevitably needs to be planned ahead in response to the request. However, it's always hard for IT operation to know how many resources exactly to match the requirement of a new fast-growing program. And when it fails, it's another question that how much to withdraw in order not to impact the business and also not to waste too much in the limited IT resources. And secondly, another very common challenge in the list, firefighting for IT operation team. They have to keep in a standby mode, work hard, work late, or even work non-stop in order to make sure when the alert comes, they can put it down in a timely manner. However, when it comes to fixing a problem, the traditional way of IT tracking is always very time-consuming. It relies heavily on manual tracking and talent experience. Even worse, some of the time they still could not diagnose the root cause. All the IT operation can do is just to fix it or make a wish that the problem won't come again. So Cloudwise has come to help. We provide total solution from consultancy, design, and implementation. The proprietary software solution comes with a centralized platform that collects all the monitoring tools that customers already have, There's no duplicity or wasted investment. And with data platform that process the data layer, we provide a data-back capabilities for IT operations to rewind the time and see what happens when something got wrong in a flash. Furthermore, we injected the AI and machine learning technologies to make all the IT operation data into correlated form, which ultimately provide the capabilities of anomaly detection, root cause analysis, issue prediction, and correlation. On the right side of the slides, you can see algorithm sample in our CloudWise AIOps platform. For example, the dynamic anomaly detection and the trend prediction, log pattern recognition, and acts. And down below is the business architecture that lay out all the supporting parts like applications, component layers, host layer, network layers, and acts, which are all correlated and discovered by AI. Meanwhile, to make the value of IT more visible in front of a business, the solution includes a comprehensive mission control center, which shows all the status of key business applications in real time, as well as KPIs and correlated IT resources. After the 6-month project period, customer CL was happy to gain its benefits from the good investments. Finally, which cost cuts 37% in terms of IT operation, which while mean time to recovery, MTTR, which indicates the performance IT linearity, is dramatically improved by more than 40%. So let's take a brief look of how customers see as IT operation architecture. I'm not going to be a techie here. Just want to give you guys an idea how the data flows from its existing monitoring tools into a data pipeline that supports the whole IT operation system, enhanced by AI. At the bottom, it is so-called the data layer, which is composed by all sorts of data formats, indexing or source, such as CMDB, and some self-developed infrastructure monitoring tools called SkyEye, and some ESB services. With the data collection data, we project all the data through Kafka to real-time processes, doing the cleansing, filtering, consolidation, indexing work. And finally, they landed on the storage layer by different types of database. Up on the database, the system leveraged computing layer with machine learning and algorithm to do the AI jobs like anomaly detection, root cause analysis, and acts. And then to provide a service to let the IT operation and management team or even R&D team to have a specific view on the data visualization. So this is the dashboard of customer CL, and it is a mission control room for business operation and IT operation. Sorry that it's blurred somehow because it's intended to by technicals. So let me just walk it through a little bit and give you an idea of what is it about. It includes the business KPI, corporate news, core business headlines, on-duty team, IT resources KPI and utilizations, and business trends and production changes. So, as a wrap-up, I hope this use case may help you understand more about how AIOps helps an insurance company in its journey of digital transformation. We are looking forward to your feedback and happy to discuss what we can be of assist. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. So we have come to almost the end of our webinar today, and apologies for the slight overrun. I will be announcing the 5 lucky winners who participated actively. If my team could share the slide, that would be great. So please do not leave us yet. Once the names are announced, my team will get in touch with you directly after the event to get your addresses. So if you can see here, Hinesh, Tao, Alston, Nitin, and Muhammad, you have won yourself the Huawei Watch Fit. So congratulations. If you're not part of the 5 that won, do be reminded that another 5 will stand a chance to win if you participate in the Huawei Cloud trial via the QR code. So just before you leave, go to the handout section that you see on your screen. click on Huawei Cloud _QR code and lucky draw for the QR code that will be inside the handout. Just have to scan it. And once you scan it, fill in the form, you will be part of the lucky draw and you'll stand a chance to win a Huawei Cloud watch. A Huawei watch. So once again, thank you to Huawei Cloud, all speakers and everyone in this room that have joined us today. And we'll see you at the next ITC Asia Virtual Conversations that will be happening on the 2nd of December. Thank you guys. See you.